have my very good friend and neighbor, how awesome is that, Jenna here, and we've done a video in the past, and I was just telling Jenna that about a month ago, there were some ladies in my faith and fitness group that were asking me all these questions about birth control. And so I was like, you know what? Jenna's the expert. And so here we are phoning a friend, and okay, I get this question a lot too, is if I'm on birth control, do I need to stop? What do I need to know? So what is basically the scary stuff that's floating around out there as far as whether it's a rumor or whether it's truth as it relates to birth control?
That's a great question. And there's a lot, so I'm going to try to answer that as succinctly as I can. Number one of my favorite examples of stuff floating out in Google sphere is I had a lot of women last week send me a message about this crazy product that's a type of spermicide. So it's a gel you put inside and it kills the sperm. And they're like, hey, does this work? And I was like, why? I've never heard of this. I asked all my colleagues, I was like, have you heard of this gel? They were like, no, I haven't. And I'm like, well, why are they all hearing it? Well, it turns out they put like this Instagram targeted ad.
Oh my gosh.
And they were like, so that's why it was popping up in all these women's Instagram feed. And they were saying that it had like, it would prevent pregnancy. But when you scroll down on the page, I couldn't find any clinical research to support it. And at the bottom of the page, all they had was, in the 5 years that we've been selling this product, and the 6,000 jars that we sold, we've only had one reported pregnancy. And to me, that's not enough. If there's not a clinical trial behind it, like it's just not, I wouldn't bank my,
That's pretty important, right?
Yeah. So be careful to things that are advertised to you.
Yeah.
Also, hormonal birth control. So the pill, namely, has a lot of side effects that we're not really told about when we go to the doctor's office. If you read the pamphlet, a lot of it's there, like the blood clots and increased risk of stroke. That's all in there, but none of us read that. I mean, we sign things, we don't read it.
Fine print or whatever. I mean, you're not going to spend an extra 15 minutes in the office when you got to go to your next appointment, right? Because we live in a rush.
Exactly. So. But the pill, a lot of women have, they have depression. That's a big one. Women are more likely to be prescribed an antidepressant after the birth control pill.
Which come with another host of side effects.
Exactly. That's why I call the birth control pill a gateway drug. Literally.
Oh, that's good. That's
First
good.
birth control, then the Prozac.
I was looking up the side effects for this certain depression medication. Side effect, depression. Well, what do you know? Okay.
Yeah, and one of my favorites is low libido, because what the hormonal birth control pill does is it suppresses all of your hormones. So
that's a way to have birth control.
I know, right? So it's like, why you don't need it if you're not having sex?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So a lot of doctors will tell you, it tricks the body into thinking it's pregnant. I hope not that many doctors are saying that nowadays, because that's false. What it's doing is it's putting you into an induced state of menopause. So it's flatlining all of your hormones.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
I know, right? Fun.
I mean, I've been doing everything in my power to reverse my early menopause, I guess you could say, because all my hormones went to zero, and I think I've, for the most part, done that. But I mean, why would you? Why would you want to do that to yourself?
And I get it. So some of the things that the pill will do, it can help with acne. So you have a lot of teenagers coming in taking it. But see, the thing with that is it's not, why is acne happening in the first place? So the pill is just going to get rid of the acne, but it's not going to get to the root cause. So there's that. But my thing is, if your choice, whatever choice you make is the best choice for you. I just want you to have all of the knowledge to make the most informed decision for yourself. And if birth control is something that you decide to do, it's just great to just know the pros and the cons. Right? And there are certain ways that you can take hormonal birth control and lessen the side effects. So for instance, like anyone on the hormonal birth control, I recommend taking a prenatal vitamin, because the hormonal birth control leaches, it depletes the B vitamins, which we desperately need. So taking a prenatal, it causes leaky gut, so that means that you can't absorb the nutrients from your food.
All birth control?
All hormonal birth control.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's like, the pill, the shot, the patch. And so these are just the hormonal birth control options that we're talking about. But there are other birth control options that aren't hormonal.
Oh, okay, okay. So, I mean, that right there, I would not want to do anything that put me at risk for leaky gut, because I've lived through it, and it is not fun.
It's not fun, and it causes autoimmunity, and it also, that's why women who have been on the birth control pill for a long time tend to get Hashimoto's or other thyroid, issues. So, joint pain, it causes so much havoc on the body. It really does.
To me, that would not be worth it at all. So, okay, but those are the hormonal ones.
Yeah.
And so what are some that do not cause leaky gut, or at least that we know of?
Okay, so that's a great question. So one of my favorites is, I'm going to go through my top 4 favorites.
Okay.
So my favorite one is the fertility awareness method. And some of you might have heard of the rhythm method. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, it's not the rhythm method.
A little bit, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
If I've heard it. What is it?
The rhythm method is where it's like on day 14, you think you ovulate, so you just don't have sex on day 14, 15.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the
I've heard
rhythm
of that.
method,
I
right?
didn't know that was the rhythm
Yeah,
method. It's timing it around.
It's timing it, but
around
it's
your
not the
cycle.
fertility awareness method. So the fertility awareness method is a science-based method. It has a 99.6% efficacy rate for perfect use. That's a big deal because hormonal birth control is 99.8 with perfect use. So it's it's very similar.
What is it?
And so what you're
0.2% lower.
0.2% lower,
All right.
And someone with perfect use of fertility awareness is 99.6, but someone with imperfect use of the birth control pill, that brings it down to I think it's 90%.
Oh, wow.
So someone using the fertility awareness method correctly, in other words, could have higher rate of efficacy than someone taking the birth control pill who doesn't take it every day at the same time or
And the name
misses
of that
a day.
is what again?
The fertility awareness method.
That's basically the rhythm thing that you said, just not.
Yeah, it's not. I just wanted to. A lot of people confuse it for the rhythm method.
Oh,
Rhythm
okay.
method, bad, not good.
Okay.
Rhythm method is just kind of what I like to call pull out and pray.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Okay.
There's no science
Gotcha,
behind it.
Gotcha.
The fertility awareness method has science.
Wow, there's so many names for all of these things. I'm learning here.
The fertility awareness method has science behind it because it's using 3 fertility signs to
Okay.
chart how fertile. So it helps you identify your fertile window. So did you know, as women, we are only fertile 8 days out of the month?
Okay, I thought it was even lower than that. I thought it was like 7 or 6.
It's
but
really
it depends,
48
right?
hours. Okay,
Yeah,
so 48
right
hours.
around ovulation, right?
Yes.
A little bit before, but maybe like a day after. That's typically
well,
what.
we say 48 because sometimes eggs can live longer, and there have been very few instances where women have ovulated 2 eggs instead of 1.
Okay.
But here's the deal: men's sperm stays alive for 5 days.
Okay.
So you could have sex 5 days before you're fertile, before you ovulate, and you could still get pregnant.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So that's the reason. It's pesky sperm. Those guys are stubborn.
Yeah.
And so that's why we say like an 8-day fertile window.
Okay.
Now men are fertile 365 days of the year.
Yeah.
So we also have to look at that. Like, why are women the ones that are burdened with the hormone, the birth control?
Right. Yeah. We have so much to deal with as women.
So by identifying this fertile window with the fertility awareness method. What we do is we can choose to either abstain from sex on those days or use a barrier method like a condom or a diaphragm. And we identify the fertile window by temperature, observing our cervical fluid, and cervical position. Some women do the cervical position, some don't, but the most important ones are temperature and cervical fluid. So some of y'all probably have noticed that close to ovulation you have a little bit more cervical fluid. It generally looks like that of an egg white, and it's stretchy in between the fingers. And that is the fluid that keeps the sperm alive and carries it up to the egg.
Gotcha.
So by charting these temperatures, charting your temperature and the fluid, you can identify your fertile window, because after you ovulate, your temperature is going to spike by 0.2 of a degree, and it's going to sustain that spike. And if it lasts for 18 days and you're pregnant, but you if you're not pregnant, you'll menstruate. So that's a really great way. So after, what I tell women is identify, see that temperature spike in tandem with the cervical fluid. Some women feel ovulation, they have a little pain. And then after 3 days of sustained temperature increase, then you can have sex without worrying if you're going to get pregnant. Because you cannot get pregnant if you're not in your fertile window. Just cannot happen. But I just want to preface that if you are not in a committed relationship with someone who has been tested for STDs, you should always be using a condom.
That's another video, right?
Yes,
well,
exactly.
actually, that's plain and simple. We can get that in this video.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
But so the fertility awareness method is great. I recommend the book The Fifth Vital Sign for anyone wanting to check out more information about that. And I can also, so the Fifth Vital Sign is great. My second one for women who are like, okay, I can't do that. There's no way, but there is a way. You can do it. You're underestimating yourself. You can do that.
Yes.
And if you don't want to just do it with, yourself and with the period apps like Kendara on your phone, there's a place for your temperature and everything. If you don't want to do that, the second step would be getting one of the fancy devices, like the Daisy thermometer, or the temp drop, and it basically it does the work for you.
Oh,
it takes your temperature. It lets you know when you're in your fertile window.
Okay.
They're like $400. It's a one-time investment.
So either a $4 thermometer or a $400 little fancy thing?
Yeah.
Is there, much different from the $400 one versus a thermometer?
The thermometer that's $4, you have to put in all the info to the app yourself.
Okay.
And you have to identify yourself. So there's more work on your part. I think all women should do that anyway, just so they can get to know their cycles. What the Daisy will do, the smart thermometer, is it will tell you in the morning. Like, it will be like, it'll give you a red light that says you're in your fertile window.
Basically, ladies, if you have not completed any math class in your life and don't know what a 0.2 to 0.5 degree temperature spike is, spend $400 and get the app. I probably didn't do.
Get the Daisy.
They're not going to hire me to advertise for them. Let's say that.
but it is a great way, like especially like with the temp drop. It's a really good way for those trying to conceive. Identifying when they're ovulating, so it can also help in that regard.
Okay.
But it does give you some more information. The app is free. You can put in your information. The Kendara app, that's the one I use. It's great. I have a $4. Maybe it's like $10 thermometer from CVS. I put it in, manually, and I can see on my graph when I've ovulated. But some people aren't comfortable with that. They want the technology.
I know how the temperature spike. When I feel that surge of energy and when my face breaks out, I've just ovulated.
Okay, that's what Lindsay has Lindsay. Right? You know your signs, so that's knowing your normal and knowing your signs. And every woman is going to have different signs.
Another way, when you're at the gym and you are getting a good pump, you had that surge of estrogen, you're recovering well. Let's go. No, I've been really into timing my workouts around my cycle.
That's awesome.
And it has really changed things. So I'm huge fan of working with the female body. Yeah,
I love it, and I love that you're probably incorporating that with your clients as well.
I do.
And that's one reason that tracking your cycle is so important, because you can be like, oh, do I really want to hit the gym super hard today, or do I want to do something more restorative?
PMS week.
Yeah, you can see where you are in your cycle. And so, I always know I can push myself harder in my follicular phase, the first 2 weeks. That's before ovulation, because as you said, you have your estrogens peaking, and we're capable of doing a little bit more and recovering faster as well, right?
Yeah. I have this book. It's really catered towards athletes who are females, and it's called The Woman's Book, I want to say, by Lyle McDonald. I love it. It talks all about female hormones around working out and optimizing your body performance and everything.
So amazing.
It's so good. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. I really think it's like the first of its kind. But so this was really helpful information for me, and I know for all of the ladies
There's
out
one
there,
more
so
though I just want to make sure that we
it.
go over. So if you don't want to do the fertility awareness method and you want something more permanent, the copper IUD is a hormone-free. It's an intrauterine device, and it lasts for up to 5 years. It's a 99% efficacy rate. However, I do not recommend it for women who have any history of autoimmunity and are heavy in clotting periods, because some of the side effects can be heavy periods and an autoimmune reaction. So, but some women are great on it. They have no issues. Other women really hate it, but that also is an option that's hormone-free.
Okay, cool. So where can people find more information about you? I'm also you'll give me your info. I think I have it, but whatever info you want, I'll link it below in the comment section in this video in case people want to reach out to you, have more questions. But what is
on
the
my
best
website,
way?
I have a fertility awareness 101 blog post on my website, and that's at Jenna Longoria, JennaLongoria.com.
Perfect. Okay, cool. I'll put that in the comment section here.
And you can find me on Instagram at The Period Guru.
Perfect. Yeah, she puts awesome posts out. So follow her if you're not following her. And perhaps we'll do another woman's video at some point. I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Whatever. How funny is it? How long did it take us to get this video in? Because
I
asked you about
like a month
and a half ago. Most of it was my fault, but our schedules are just so busy, which is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But this was the first
We're empowered
time.
women.
Yeah.
Helping other women. So.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And you've got somewhere to be. I've got somewhere to be. And if you don't have somewhere to be, then that's cool. I guess scroll to the next YouTube video. But all right, guys, we will be back with another video at some point in the near future.